Welcome to Trash Talk Reverse. This is Harry, and we're going to be watching Season 1, Episode 6 of Game of Thrones. Last episode was actually not bad at all. It was entertaining, it had good information, it had well-written scenes, but we still had some stupidity going on. Like, they had Arya overhearing Varys talking about something out of context, and basically ran off and told her dad, someone's trying to kill you. Now, down the line, that could look bad for Ned in terms of who he's able to put his trust in, but it's kind of already at a tipping point. But if my 9-year-old daughter, despite what little she heard, and despite how unreliable kid ears can be, she heard vaguely the idea that somebody might be trying to kill him. So I hate the fact that he didn't get the hell out of there and he stayed there just because of what Littlefinger was saying. So in this episode, I'm worried that the writing's gonna go off the rails again and do some more crazy stuff that doesn't have any logical foundation just to get Ned to the executioner's blade. Also in this episode, I'm looking forward to seeing where Tyrion and Catelyn's relationship goes. I know it can't be anywhere good because of what I vaguely remember from the first time I ever watched this about Tyrion like escaping with Bran after winning that fighting trial thing, because in the last episode we saw them getting attacked, and I'm thinking that can't exclusively be just for Tyrion to see Bran's sword skill and start their bond. Like, there has to have been more. That scene should have impacted Tyrion and Catelyn's relationship somehow more than just cutting his hands free. But now we're in the Eyrie and things are at Lysa Arryn's mercy, and that lady's crazy. So let's get into it. Also, I know this is the episode where Viserys died.
Lord Stark was returning drunk from a brothel when his men attacked Jaime.
Quiet, woman.
I took you for a king. I should wear the armor and you the gown.
Again, she ducked before he hit her, just like Dany and Viserys in episode 4. Once again, Ned is seeing how much Cersei disagrees with both of them and hates them both. He sees an enemy, and now he's stuck here surrounded by them.
And put an end to it.
Seriously.
And what about Jaime Lannister?
Robert is actually making sense for once. Like, Ned, you can literally stop this.
Half a kingdom in debt to his bloody father.
Yeah.
Those yellow-haired shits.
I will return to Winterfell.
Yes, get out of there.
Piss on that. Send a raven. I want you to stay. You were the brother I chose.
And this is gonna make Ned stay, unfortunately. This is why you should have run the hell out of there last episode.
Pin the damn thing on Jaime Lannister.
Do it. God, Ned, get out of there. While Robert's on the hunt, you take your girls and go up there. Then when Robert dies, you can deal with the situation from a safe place. And of course he's gonna stay because honor, aka stupidity. You don't owe this dude anything. Another hint about her being the dragon after she sank into that piping hot water in the first episode. I wonder how the dragon blood works, because she has blood, so somehow she's able to revive these dragon eggs, or she's able to do the things that are necessary in order for the dragon eggs to crack into dragon babies. Yeah, like the dragon blood lets her warm up these dragons and incubate them, I guess. The three-eyed raven is honestly some of the biggest BS in this entire show. Like, what was the point of it? As far as I remember, he didn't even use the power that much once he learned about it.
Lannister put his spear through your father's leg. You're not a boy anymore. They attacked your father. They've already started the war. It's your duty to represent your house when your father can't.
And it's not your duty because it's not your house.
And this is just gonna piss Theon off even more. It's my girl Tonks. You better yell for Robb right now.
I'm not alone. My brother is with me.
Why don't you yell for him now?
I'm Brandon Stark of Winterfell.
Idiot, shut up.
I'll have you all killed.
Cut his little cock off and stuff it in his mouth.
That's a rude thing to say to a 10-year-old. How did the wildlings get south of the wall?
Dawn, drop the knife.
You did not see that from all the way over there. Where is Theon? I know he's gonna come in here and do a magical rescue, but shouldn't he have come here with Robb? Did they really split up? What, is he about to get stabbed through the chest or the neck from behind? Get him. Took your time, though. They could have given Theon a brotherhood arc where Robb accepts him fully into the family, but instead they went with the stupid betrayal stuff.
In the Iron Islands, you're not a man until you've killed your first enemy.
Have you lost your mind? What have you missed?
He would have killed you and cut Bran's throat.
You don't have the right
To what? To save your brother's life?
Shouldn't Robb know that Theon would never miss because he's grown up with him, so he's seen Theon never miss an arrow, just like he was doing during practice in the last episode. At first I thought Robb was mad that Theon was trying to make a joke out of this whole situation and being like, oh, you're not a man until you kill your first. But he's mad about what if you'd missed? I feel like they just kind of put that in there because they wanted to further drive apart Robb and Theon in order for Theon to then betray Robb later on. Y'all don't have any other prisoners?
How would you like to be rich?
My family is rich. We have gold, lots of gold.
The CGI here looks the same as it does in other shows of this time period, so I don't know why people were so gagged about, oh, the VFX are so much better in this show. It looks the same. It looks fine. No complaints.
You are fearing for your father.
I said in the last episode that Ned should have just taken Arya and Sansa and Jory and like 2 other guys and gone. Why not throw Syrio Forel into the mix? See, this is nasty. Ugh. He's so turned on, but this is so disgusting. This is yet another weird, quote-unquote, savage ritual for them to have the Dothraki do. Who the hell does this? This is so weird.
She's going to have a boy.
How do y'all know that in this day and age? Symbolic, and I guess it's really fitting that this is going to be Viserys' last episode. Their arc was done quite well, like Dany fully coming into her own as part of this team, just as Viserys is about to get whacked.
They love her.
Duh, because she accepted her culture, and you treated them like trash. What did you expect? Dang, Drogo really was her man's. Too bad he dies, but I guess it needed to happen.
No one has ever given me what they gave to her in that tent.
Cause you suck.
Sometimes possession is an abstract concept.
This dude does not know what you're talking about.
Where? I don't know where, but they free me.
This should have been part of the first scene. Don't drag this episode out by giving us 2 scenes with this same crap.
I'm good at convincing others to do violence for me. I saw a servant girl bathing in the river. I stole her robe, flogged the one-eyed snake into my sausage.
Okay, we get it. This is boring.
You are accused of hiring a man to slay my son, Bran, in his bed.
To think that he has an actual trial 3.5 seasons from now.
Take him back to the dungeon. This time find a smaller cell.
Yeah, he made himself look bad. That was a stupid thing to do.
You accuse me of crimes. I deny them. So you throw me into a cell to freeze and starve.
We should have started with that.
My son will listen to whatever you have to say, and you will hear his judgment.
What? And everyone's like, yup, this makes sense.
I demand a trial by combat.
I mean, what else did you expect? Y'all wanted a 10-year-old to pass judgment on the situation. And everyone, all the adults in the room are like, yeah, that makes sense. I guess they can't question her anyway because she's in charge. And through her and Jon Arryn's marriage, he's in charge. But if I'm Catelyn, I'm thinking that this is the biggest mistake of my life to bring Tyrion here. Hell, Catelyn should have freed Tyrion and taken him the hell out of here. Because this is ridiculous.
Let me avenge his death.
I'll fight for you, my honor. I'll be your name.
Shut up. What child talks like that? The way they all started calling out felt so staged. Of course it is staged, but it's not supposed to feel like that when I'm watching it.
Do I have a volunteer?
Aren't they lucky that Bronn came with them? Like, what if Bronn was like, okay, I've had my day in the inn, I'm actually about to head south. But Mans was following the money.
I'll stand for the dwarf.
Yeah, he's following the money. I wish those two had stayed as part of the same storyline rather than Bronn splitting off to go be with Jaime and teaching him how to fight with the other hand. Like, who cares? The way this show just takes people from here to there to here to there just without rhyme or reason instead of trying to see people through certain storylines. I don't know if that makes any sense. It does in my head, but that's one of the things keeping the show from feeling like a strong, cohesive story. It just feels like random people are doing random things as the plot needs them to.
More wine, Your Grace.
You ever make the 8, Barristan?
I don't believe so, Your Grace.
I don't care about this conversation at all.
The ones where half of Westeros fought the other half and millions died? Or before that, when the Mad King slaughtered women and babies because the voices in his head told him they deserved it. When dragons burned whole cities to the ground.
Easy, boy.
Yeah, where the hell did this come from?
If you were drunk enough and had some poor Riverlands whore to shove your prick inside and make the 8.
Where is this coming from? This dude again, with the wine. Everything about that felt so forced. Ned's ass is really still here, doing what Robert said, instead of halfway back to Winterfell.
Fish. The sigil of House Tully.
Isn't that your wife's house?
Why are you asking? You knew her as kids. You know the answer. He only said that for the audience to know.
Can you think of any reason the Lannisters might possibly have for being angry with your wife?
He sounds so fake right now.
That would be almost as brazen as attacking the hand of the king in the streets of the capital.
The way Littlefinger is talking right now, he sounds so fake. If I'm Ned, I'm thinking Littlefinger wants to suck up to me so bad.
Lord Beric Dondarrion.
Oh, isn't he from the Brotherhood or whatever? Yet another random thing that they threw in the show/books for no reason. I know you can't walk, but you should have taken a carriage and gotten out of here.
I charge you to bring the king's justice to the false knight Gregor Clegane. I strip him of all ranks,
Why
lands,
would you screw
and
with the
holdings,
Lannisters like
and
that?
sentence him to death.
Dude, the Lannisters are already after you and your family.
Inform Tywin Lannister that he has been summoned to court.
He should not be doing this at all, first of all, and especially not without Robert here. This was such a dumb thing to do. Just this morning, did Robert not tell you, I can't do a thing about the Lannisters because I'm in debt to them?
But is it wise to yank the lion's tail?
Duh.
Tywin Lannister is the richest man in all the 7 kingdoms.
Gold wins wars, not soldiers.
How come Robert is king, not Tywin Lannister?
I mean, that's not a bad point. It just blows my mind that Ned would do that. You had Jaime Lannister kill your most trusted companion in a city surrounded by snakes. You had Cersei Lannister scream her head off at you this morning. You had Robert tell you he's in debt to the Lannisters and has no choice but to put up with them. And knowing that the Mountain is Tywin Lannister's mad dog, you still went ahead and pushed the Lannister button. It's like you want to get killed. What did you think was going to happen? You got speared in the leg because there was nobody around to defend you. What makes you think that this is a safe bet? Your daughters are here, dude. You just put the biggest target on your back. Now I'm wondering what's stupider, Catelyn arresting Tyrion or Ned doing this? I mean, this guy's smart. Where was he when Tyrion needed somebody to fight for him in season 4? This working out successfully should have made it clear in season 4 during that battle between the Mountain and the Viper that was not going to go Tyrion's way. I feel like there's not really any tension in this scene.
Enough, Savardis. Finish him.
This dude is halfway to death right now. Bruh, I thought it was over. This is taking too long. You can end this right now, lady. Well, the way she totally could have spared his life by saying, okay, yield, you're free to go. Just don't kill this dude.
You don't fight with honor.
No, he did.
Get her.
You wear your hair like a real southern lady now.
I'm already bored. I just realized I've been calling Arya 9 this whole time, but she's 11, right? Because she's older than Bran. Oh well. But anyways, this girl is 2 years older than her younger sister, and Arya somehow sounds more intelligent and mature when speaking than Sansa does. Like, yeah, Arya still has her moments where she sounds a bit childish, but it feels like she just has a better grasp on the world than Sansa does.
Where are you from anyway? The north or the south?
Who cares?
From a very small village in a...
I just realized I don't care.
I'm dead.
Now you are being rude.
Oh, brother. As if this scene couldn't get any more boring.
I fear I've behaved monstrously.
Yeah, let me guess, your mommy told you to make up with the Stark girl? Oh, brother. I wish I could skip this scene.
Will you forgive me for my rudeness?
He's so fake. But it's crazy because he knows how to be fake, but then in other scenes you see him being unable to restrain himself.
Lords and ladies from all over the Seven Kingdoms will come. From the last hearth in the north to the Salt Shore in the south. And you will be queen over all of them.
This would have been more powerful if she did end up as queen in season 8. It's crazy how trusting Sansa is of the Lannisters when Arya knows not to.
Going to King's Landing?
So she can get murdered by Joffrey.
I hear Jaime Lannister attacked Lord Stark in the streets of King's Landing.
This scene was so useless. Like, who cares about these two?
I'm sending you both back to Winterfell.
What?
Listen.
What about Joffrey?
Who cares?
Are you dying because of your leg?
I'm dead.
What? No.
I'm supposed to marry Prince Joffrey. I love him, and I'm meant to be his queen and have his babies.
7 hells.
I'll give him sons with beautiful blonde hair.
The lines
And that's what it took for Ned to get it.
like his father.
He is not. He's nothing like that old drunk king.
You only just now made the connection. This is so forced. This is what it sounds like when the writers don't want the characters to make the logical conclusion at the appropriate time. So they have them not make the conclusion and then they drag it out and they have somebody else bring it up in some random manner and then they're able to draw the conclusion. Like it just now struck you. You had all the clues. You even had Pycelle tell you that Jon Arryn's last words were "the seed is strong." What the hell did you think that meant?
Robert Baratheon, black of hair. Joffrey Baratheon, golden head.
Too bad you only just now came to this conclusion. You could have been reading this book at Winterfell, or you could have been having that conversation with your kids 2 nights ago. God, this pisses me off even more, because like the writers totally did this on purpose to force a plot point that could have been easily avoided if people used their brains. This dude about to die.
There she is.
Who's hissing in the background? It's crazy that this girl tries to stand in Viserys' way and protect Dany when in season 2 she literally betrays her for no reason. If that's the same girl.
What's he saying?
He says yes, you shall have golden crown that men shall tremble to behold.
But that was all I wanted. What was promised?
That's crazy because the look on Khal Drogo's face and the tone of voice did not match what Viserys believes has been said to him.
Look away, Khaleesi.
No.
Danny, tell them. Make them. Danny, please.
Well, the dragon couldn't take it, I guess.
He was no dragon.
Get him.
Fire cannot kill a dragon.
Boom. Well, the Dany and Viserys arc came to a satisfying conclusion. I think that arc was really nicely developed overall, excepting the stuff at the very beginning where Dany had not consented to Drogo. If they had changed that one part, this arc would have been so much better and so much more satisfying. Once again, no Jon Snow, no complaints there. The stuff that happened with Bran was kind of random. Like, I don't even remember what the wildling Asha's purpose was. Didn't she, like, get murdered by Ramsay Bolton or something? Other than that, I have no memory of that lady. Of course, we had the Robb and Theon animosity, which is annoying. Theon is already a weird-ass character, and that scene with Roz was so unnecessary. Like, we do not care about you two. We really don't. The scenes with Theon and other people, or with Robb, where basically it seems like it's turning the wheels in his head regarding his situation and thus leading to his betrayal. It feels forced and obvious, and I really wish that they hadn't gone through with this because it just seems really dumb. And again, it feels like they only threw that in there because they needed Robb Stark to be betrayed somehow. Though I don't remember where that betrayal comes in. That dude was such a tiny blip on the radar of this show, apart from that weird little tortured being he was as Reek. Also in this episode, we had Tyrion's whole trial thing, which again was really kind of dragged out for the sake of filling out the space. They should have just combined those two scenes in that cell thing, and then rather than wasting that time with the first unfunny and uninteresting thing Tyrion has said in the show so far. That's not true, actually. I was complaining about him 2 episodes ago. And then rather than wasting our time in the hall with those weird sins he was talking about that weren't funny, but sounded like they were put in there by the writers to be funny, they should have just cut straight to the chase of him being like, okay, I'm here. I want to confess to my crimes. My crime is that I did not kill your kid or your husband. I don't know what I can do to get you to believe me, but give me a trial. And then, you know, things ensue. The fact that Catelyn didn't even question the fact that this child was going to be the judge of the trial. Like, girl, you have had no autonomy this entire episode. I was expecting more from her. I was expecting her to say more, do more, get into it with her sister about the way you're running things here is weird and something's wrong with you. Like, I get it's your sister and I get it's her turf, but still, you couldn't say anything at all. You couldn't be like, actually, I don't want to do things here. I want to take Tyrion with me back to Winterfell. Literally, anything would have been better than this. And then, of course, we have the fight with Bronn and the other guy and the victory, which of course is going to be reversed in season 4. Honestly, I thought that fight was kind of boring. And then, of course, we had Arya learning the sword fight, which is fine, I guess. We had those dumb scenes with Sansa, like, we do not care. This episode, honestly, really quite boring. Oh, and then, of course, we had Ned doing the dumbest thing in the world and denouncing Tywin Lannister's right-hand man in front of the world. Honestly, I have nothing more to say. I'm done trying to rationalize. I'm done. Like, this dude has dug his grave 3 times over. There's really nothing else to say. He's dumb. He has had multiple chances to get out of here, and he has not taken them. He could have left after he stopped being Hand of the King. He could have left after Robert went on his hunt, and he has the opportunity to leave right now, but instead, what's he gonna do? He's gonna go confront Cersei, right? If I remember correctly. I just can't with these characters, man. It makes this show so hard to watch when you see these characters acting like this, and all you can really see is the writers scheming behind the scenes because they need XYZ to happen, so then they screw up A through V, W, hang on, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so it's W. You see the writers scheming to get XYZ to happen, meanwhile they're screwing up A through W. It's just so frustrating. And when I say writers, I'm talking about both the show and the book. I don't remember the full extent to which the show deviates from the first book. I remember that the first season and the first book were fairly close in the adaptation. I didn't read the rest of the books. Either way, this is dumb. And it gets worse as we get closer and closer to the episode where Ned gets captured and then the one where he dies. I mean, what do I even say at this point? I'm beating a dead horse. Catelyn is stupid. Ned is stupid. They're not doing things that their characters would do. They're simply following the writer's will. So many of the problems in this season only exist because the author had an idea. I mean, Jaime Lannister attacked you, dude. Sorry, I'm back on Ned. I guess I wasn't completely wrong about Robert possibly dying / getting severely injured in episode 7 because it does look like that's going to happen next episode. I just really hate it when writers force certain things to happen in order for other things to happen. If they had to kill off Ned, if they absolutely had to kill off Ned and they had to do it in episode 9 so that they could prolong it till the penultimate episode and they weren't able to get there without doing a lot of convoluted BS in the middle, like if you really needed Ned to die so that the Stark children could flourish, y'all could have done a better job. Obviously, Arya's not going to go off on her own and live out her character arc unless Ned dies. Sansa's not going to have her stuck in King's Landing and then stuck with the Bolton stuff going on unless Ned dies. Bran's not going to be stuck beyond the wall unless Ned dies. And Robb's not going to try to become King of the North unless Ned dies. But maybe you had this idea that the Stark children need to go off on their own to flourish, and you held on to it too tightly rather than following where the story leads. Because if Ned had in fact taken his kids and gone back home and from the safety of Winterfell dealt with everything, he still could have died. Like, they still could have lost somehow. There just has to have been at least one other way than all this convoluted mess that they're doing right now for them to have gotten the outcome that they wanted. But anyway, I've gone on long enough. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.